I'm here with Teri Webb from Springside Elementary, and you teach fourth grade, right?
I do.
Okay, and last year you participated with the Read a Difference program, is that correct? Okay. So tell me about what benefit did the program have towards you and your collective team?
I think the biggest thing that was amazing about participating in the whole experience was just having somebody that was there to validate how important reading was for the age group of kids that we teach. Our kids are between 9 and 10 years old when we have them in fourth grade, and that's actually one of the biggest ages of kids that the desire to read drops off. And so I think it was just really great to have the support of the fellowship program to just back us up and validate for us that the amount of time and energy that we were spending on helping kids learn to love to read was worthwhile, and also gave our principal an opportunity to know that, hey, the fourth grade team is unified and working towards this goal of getting kids to love reading.
Tell me how you worked together with your team to increase reading motivation for your students. Can you think of a specific example of something that you and your team decided, this is one thing we need to do?
One of the greatest things I think we did as a team is we did a monthly book club. And that was something that we hadn't done before, so it came about because of the fellowship that we did. But basically every month we selected a couple of books that the kids could choose from, and it was completely optional. It was a choice for the students. That was one of the big criteria that we felt was really important. But each month the students had sometimes 2, sometimes 3 or 4 different books that they could choose from. All were based on a theme. We did some mystery, kind of scarier stories for October. We did Earth books for April, things like that, where the kids had an opportunity to choose which book they wanted to do. And then each month we would do a culminating event that focused on whatever books the kids read. We did an escape room for October, and we did for Earth Month, we did some, beautify the earth and save the earth kind of things. The kids went out and made just beautiful drawings with chalk and out on the playground, and just positive messages about keeping the earth clean and beautiful. So that was one of the things that really unified us as a team, because we had our entire fourth grade participate in those things. And so it was a really fun opportunity to know that the kids from all the different classes were reading the same books and had a chance to talk about them and have an activity at the end that kind of just wrapped all of it up into a neat little package. One of my most just heartwarming moments was I got a birthday gift from one of my parents, and it had a letter written inside of it that said, "I don't know what you're doing, but my son has never wanted to read before, and now he doesn't want to go to bed because he wants to be reading every night." And that moment almost brought tears to my eyes, because I was like, that is what I'm here for. That is our goal in all of this, is to get kids to love reading. And I've seen that with several of my students where their parents have just said, you know what, they never really loved reading, or they only wanted to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And so the monthly book clubs and the different activities that we did as a grade level really helped to get kids reading things that they wouldn't have read otherwise. And part of it was because they wanted to participate in the end of month activity, but that kind of was just how it started. And then the more we got into the different books, the more the kids just wanted to read. And so that was really awesome. The second year, we decided, we don't want this to be a punishment. We want the kids to still have their recess. And so we ended up just switching it so that nobody missed anything that they were excited about. But it was always voluntary. Even when the kids did miss their recess, almost always the kids wanted to participate, even if they knew they were going to miss their lunch recess that day. So it was totally optional, just like reading the books was optional. Nobody had to do it. Nobody was forced to do it. And we also were very adamant about if the kids picked a book and they didn't like it, that it was okay to abandon it.
So it sounds like to me that choice and proximate reward were two very important parts of these motivational practices that you were using and your team was using. Are there any other of the motivational practices that you felt like played an important part in your success with the Read a Difference program?
Yes, I think that the authenticity factor was really huge for my class. I was always very honest with my students in my own reading life. And I felt like one of the things I tell my kids every year is that I hate graphic novels, right? The kids love them, but I still read them and they see me reading in class every day. I felt like that was really important that I read alongside of them. And it's usually only for about 10 minutes. It's not a lot of the day. But my favorite moments are when the kids see me reading something and then they want it next. Just to give you an example, last year I was reading one of the I Survived books. And I heard my little students whispering like, oh, she's reading the I Survived book. And they want it after that. They know that I've been reading it, and so they are excited to share in that. And I just think that them seeing me as an actual reader, not only in the classroom, but in my life, because I do tell them a lot of things, and I do share with them even my grown-up books that I'm reading, and that I read professional development books. So they see me with all of those different types of books, so they see that I'm authentically a reader. It's not just something I'm telling them to do without doing it myself.
Is there anything that you would like to, any feedback or advice that you would like to give to teachers who are watching this and wondering about how they can really instill a love of reading in their students? What would be that one thing you would tell them?
Choice. Let their kids read what they want to read. Certainly there's a time for using programs or guided reading books or whatever you have at your disposal, but just letting the kids decide what they're going to read and giving them time to read every day. Because if they're not reading at home and they're not reading in class, they're not reading. So I think it's very important for teachers to make time every single day to not only let their kids read, but read to them.
Awesome. Thank you so much.